Hey everyone, welcome to this conversation. I'm so excited for this one. This is one of those conversations that, I don't have very often in public because it has gotten, yeah, me shadow banned. It has ended my ability to do lives on TikTok because there is definitely an agenda that doesn't want this stuff out because it goes against what they want to achieve, and that is to get you to consume more. I was actually looking for the book that I was going to share with you, and I don't remember where it's at. It's actually in my bookshelf, I think. But yeah, we want to talk about breaking news, right? And why is that so important, and how it is so easy for us to be seduced into um, going into the states that they want us to go into. Because think about now, there's I don't have proof of this, but there was actually a book that was written back in the 40s called Propaganda. And see, my mission, this is my mission, is to get people to understand how you are being influenced. In fact, if you're just checking in here, if you could type in replay or you're watching this live, that would be greatly appreciated. I appreciate all your support. And so there was a book written back in the 40s. You can actually find a free copy of it on by I think Googling it. Actually, that's interesting. I used to coach somebody that was an executive programmer for Google, and he said, Jeff, you would be blown away if you knew how much editing Google does on searches. Um, uh, yeah, I'm just going to put a little thing out there. You might want to start using DuckDuckGo. I think it's called DuckDuckGo. Believe that's a search engine. Friends, understand that if they can control what you perceive, they can control what you behave, how you behave, right? And the media has discovered something massively back in 2001 when the towers were, whatever you believe about that, September 11th, right, is when they recognized how much the collective conscious wants to absorb negativity, right? And there's all kinds of videos out there that support what I'm saying in how they put inductions inside of you. Like, we are the professionals, we are the ones that know what the truth is. Like, you start looking at everything that's been put out there, and I've got to be careful on what I say on here, right? Because I'm doing what I can to get back in there, and shadow banning is real, and I have received it, right? Like, I used to get hundreds and hundreds of people on these shows, and it's dropped radically because I started sharing some truths when the pandemic happened. Started talking about political parties, things like that. And all you got to do is go look at what Elon Musk is discovering about Twitter, right? Friends, understand the one that controls the narrative is the one that is control of people's perception, right? And the ones that control history. Like, there's all kinds of evidence that has supported us in telling us that there are, like, I don't know about you, but I didn't know who Nikolai Tesla was in school. I didn't learn anything about Nikolai Tesla until I was in college. And I was with my stepbrother, and he talked about this band named Tesla, which was an amazing band. I'm like, where do they get that name? And he goes, Nikolai Tesla. And I'm like, who's that? And oh my gosh, right? Go out to the Smithsonian and see how they represent Thomas Edison and how they represent Nikolai Tesla. It's staggering, right? So, friends, I want you to start looking beyond the propaganda and what it is that they want you to believe, right? Because if you're not, my good old boy Jim Rohn said this once, and I think it's so powerful. You have to do balanced research. Like, you have to have a Bible and you have to have a book about Hitler, right? Like, you have to be able to go into the areas that you don't want to look at, because otherwise you have a very serious bias that could literally be creating blind spots. Because if we keep researching what confirms our current beliefs, it's going to become incestuous, right? It's going to break down in our ability. See, and so here's my question. And well, let me ask you the question first, right? What is it that irritates you that you don't want to pursue beyond what irritates you, right? What if that irritation is the very thing that is going to lead you down a trail that's going to open up something that you don't even see as possible right now, right? This is why we are not the United States right now. We're not even close to the United States right now. We are the divided states, right? And that's because everybody has bought into this agenda of causing division, right? Just straight up understand division is darkness, like just straight up, right? And you listen to them, how they talk about the opposing party, it us versus them. So let me back up. I don't even know if I have this on my blog or my website anymore. That's a whole other story. um, but I remember I was doing some really deep marketing, studying some marketing strategies and themes that happen within how to captivate people. Right? I was studying Frank Kern, and Frank Kern had a product called Mass Control. Amazing, amazing product. And he talked about three storylines that really put people in a hypnotic state to get them to go down the direction that you want to do them. One of them is us versus them. Other one is the unsung hero. And the other one is the reluctant hero, right? Like these are themes, these are metaphors that we get drawn into that take us wherever we want to go, right? There's another one called The Hero's Journey. And so I'm watching the movie Avatar when it first came out. And again, I was studying all this stuff. And I got done watching that movie and I sat in that theater and I was just like, what in the world just happened to me? Right now, this is before I got all my masters in hypnosis and all that stuff. Right. But what happened was it's us versus them, right? Like the military against the Pandora people, right? So that's the story. It's Democrats versus the Republicans or vice versa. It's the jabbed against the unjabbed, right? Like if they can separate us, they can conquer us, right? And this is why I'm so passionate. And this is some of the things, and friends understand, I'm stepping into mastery all the time, practicing different strategies and things like that to step into a higher levels of consciousness and awareness and powered up and blah, 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 all that stuff, right? But I still am human. And one of the things that just really got underneath my skin when this pandemic came out is how marketers played on the algorithmic juice of what was going on rather than educating people on how they were being marketed. See, friend, understand effective seduction is not recognized. Effective seduction is not recognized, right? And I was one of those people that was demonized, right? Because I didn't get the job, right? And they made people literally hate somebody like me because I absolutely refuse not to do it. See, and here's the thing that's interesting. It's not people that fight, it's levels of understanding that fight. And levels of understanding that I get into this deep, 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 deep in my product, the potential code. But levels of understanding is how you think, right? And I'm going to drop some bombs here. I see somebody said here, who is this? It says just Facebook user to me. So I would love to know who that is. If you could please type in your name, that'd be great. But I want you to think about this. Levels of understanding is what you access when you start stepping into the unfamiliar, right? And friends, most people, when I say most people, 80%, 80% of humanity is not able to distinguish what is true. Now, that's not truth. We're not talking about truth. We're not talking about religion. We're not talking about dogma. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about the ability to distinguish what is true, right? 80%, over 80% of humanity is not able to even distinguish what true is. Now, how can I say that? Well, I've done lots of research around it, first of all. But the second thing is if they can get you in anger, they can get you in fear, they can get you in guilt, they can get you in shame, they can get you in grief, they can get you in all of these chaotic emotions. Hey, Joshua, brother, good to see you. They can get you in all these chaotic emotions. That's going to impact your ability to actually distinguish what true is, right? And that's what the media's job is, to put you in a constant state of anxiety. That's its job. And if you're in a constant state of anxiety, guess what you're going to do? You're going to suffer, right? And when you suffer, that makes you very impressionable, very suggestible to take on things that they want their advertisers to benefit from. What I just told you there, my friends, is hugely, hugely, hugely important. There is literally people called consumer engineers. Their jobs are to engineer things so that people consume more, right? Like just look at the percentage of advertising. Like in Canada, there is no such thing as a pharmaceutical ad. There's your clue. There's a clue right there, right? Look at the percentages of advertisements in the United States that have to do with pharmaceuticals. It's probably about 60% now. right? Which is staggering, right? Like, let's not teach people how to build their immune systems. Let's not teach people how to take control of their neurology and their thought patterns and take responsibility for their emotions and all these other things. Let's just put them to sleep with medication, right? And friends, understand, everything I tell you is from my own experience. Yes, obviously, there's lots of research and lots of things around that I have done on my own journey. And everything that I also told you has been part of my journey. I was on bipolar meds for 10 years, right? And one of the side effects, check this out. One of the side effects that they say of being on bipolar meds is that you'll want to get off the medication. Think about that. Like, just think about that, right? The other thing is, and again, don't believe anything I'm saying. Do not believe anything I'm saying. Okay. It's actually not a law that you have to promote side effects. So what does that mean? Why do they tell you the side effects? Oh, it might be because they install them, right? This is why when you become super suggestible, when you're put into a constant state of anxiety and fear, because you want something outside of yourself to take that away, right? So this is why I get so passionate about this. And I know I'm going to put this up here, but friends, like, this is my baby, this ROI Accelerator Challenge. I really get into giving you the science and the art of understanding how you are influenced, right? Not only, but see, think about this. Think about this. If you understand influence, like, who is the most influential person that's ever walked on this planet, right? Undoubtedly, it's probably Jesus, right? This isn't about religion, but it's understanding that undoubtedly he's probably the person that has influenced more people than ever in history of time, right? Think about their strategies that he's used in order to impact people. One is he taught in stories, right? Why did he teach in stories, right? And it's interesting. See, if we look through the eyes of duality, which means it's either this or that, it's black or white, it's good or bad, it's left or right, it's red or blue, right? As long as we look through that lens, we are going to miss a ton of opportunity. So case in point, when he said, the disciples asked him, why do you teach in parables? He says, so that those are ready to hear will hear, those are ready to see will see. Now, somebody that only has a certain level of awareness is going to look at that. Either I see it or I don't. And if I don't see it, then I'm not in, right? But that's not true. What determines is levels of comprehension, right? So like, when you hear a story, it's going to assimilate to you at the level of understanding that you have at that point in your life, right? Like, you watch a movie, you have tons of data coming at you, right? And you're only going to pick up certain aspects of that movie. You go back and watch it a second time, you're going to pick up different distinctions in that movie because you are now absorbing different information because you have been desensitized to what you literally absorbed the first time, right? It's called assimilation. So understanding this is you becoming influential and impacting people to get them to see things from a different vantage point, right? People, this is what's crazy. And I get it. Like, when I say it's crazy, the first thing that comes up for me is I get convicted because I was part of that, right? Like, I was part of the journey, like, believing certain things and literally believe certain things to the point that I would fight to the death to believe these things, right? But see, that's what they have convinced people to believe. Like, you look at how charged people are. There's a reason we don't talk about religion and politics. There's a reason, because most people are not able to have conversations with people that don't agree with what there is agree with. So, but see, here's what's interesting. As soon as 9/11 happened, green, red, and blue went out the window. Like, all of a sudden we had to unite, right? Because this is one of the catalysts that get us to really look at what it is that we truly value, right? Now, why didn't we go there when we had the pandemic happen? Why didn't we go there like we did when we were in 2011, right? Because our levels of understanding are evolving at a much more rapid rate right now. And the one that is beginning to get momentum is called what they call the pluralist level, right? Go look up spiral dynamics. Like I said, this is my whole course, not my whole course, but a lot of it on the potential code is you understanding what are the filters that you have that determine what you perceive in your life. Great question, right? Because as long as you're not willing to question what they are getting you to perceive, again, they're going to have control over what you believe is possible. right? Like there's lots of things going on around TikTok. Like I don't watch the news. Like I just don't watch the news because this is somebody else's interpretation of whatever the event is. And I have no idea whether it's true or not. And what they'll do is they'll take one little, like there's a picture that I seen of, I think it's Prince, not Prince Harry, the other one, the oldest one, where he's waving at somebody, and the photographer got an angle of it. It looks like he's actually flipping somebody off. It's all about the angle of what they want to convey, right? And the more you understand, because see, understand, as soon as I see something and I take it on as a truth, take it on as a belief, excuse me, now I have to start defending that. Now I've gotten entangled with that, right? And this is why I say the quote so many times is that what's normal for a spider is chaos for a fly, right? Like a normal life for a spider is casting a web and waiting till somebody gets in it. And then once they get stuck and get entangled in the web, and the harder they fight in the web, they get exhausted and they die. Most times spider doesn't have to come up and sting it, right? Then the spider just has food, right? That's the normal life of a spider. A fly is flying around just trying to do its own thing, and then boom, all of a sudden it gets caught into the normal life of a spider, and now all of a sudden it's chaos for the fly, and then it ends up dying, right? Understand that there are spiders out there. That's why they call it the World Wide Web. I don't know if anybody remembers that anymore, but they literally send out spiders to pull back what it is that's going to match your search. Wikipedia, Google, Facebook. This is what I think is awesome about what Elon Musk is doing, right? Like he is exposing actually how Twitter was ran. How much is that worth, my friend? Now, you might have whatever you may have about your thoughts about Elon Musk, right? But I would encourage you to look at what determines if you like somebody or not. Like that's a powerful question. What determines if you like somebody or not? Is it because they agree with everything that you want to say or do or believe? Is that the kind of person that you like? Right? Like I watched the movie RBG, right, about Ruth Bader, whatever her name was, the spring justice that died a while ago. And I thought it was an amazing movie. Learned all kinds of things about women's rights and the things that she did and stuff like that. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And also saw something in it that was pretty profound. Her best friend, now she's a Democrat, her best friend was a Republican Supreme Justice as well. Opposing parties, but they had a mutual respect for each other, right? Like what if we learned how to have conversations with people that didn't agree with us? Like what would that, and this is what's super important to understand. This is how we evolve. We have conversations with people that don't agree with us. This is how we evolve, right? But see, there's some things going on, and I believe this is my own personal opinion. It is, and if you know differently, by all means, I'm open to hearing what your take is on it. But feminism, the feminist movement is the one that has propagated participation trophies. Right now, this isn't about blame because I understand that men haven't showed up in families, and like there's a whole freaking training I can do around that, right? But understanding that having children get participation trophies and nobody gets to win is catastrophic. It's catastrophic because nobody's going to learn how to lose. Nobody is going to learn how to lose. And see, everybody is getting desensitized. Like the world has to cater to the ones that are offended easily, right? There's no character is forged in adversity, right? Like having to learn how to lose, learning how to go through challenges, learning how to transform the wounds and the pain and all the things that we were experienced to as a child is so important in our evolutionary process. Right? Like people that are evolving, me included, right? Like self-evolving people will always push into the storm. Like they'll push into the challenge because they understand that on the other side of that challenge, they're going to be a different version of who they are. But you teach them to not do that, they get atrophied, right? And if they're atrophied, guess what? They are they will not be able to handle chaos. They will not be able to handle a storm, right? Wow, what a great plan. What a great way to put everybody asleep so that nobody has the ability to stand up and have a voice and say, this is not right. This is not right. And everybody just gets along, and the person that stands up becomes the enemy. The person that says no to the jab becomes the enemy, right? This is what's going on with the propaganda. And I know I'm going on a tirade here, but this is what's going on, friends. And I want to do everything. I got my lives got shut down on TikTok. I cannot do lives on TikTok right now. So I had to create another account because I said something that what I said was we live in a world where the offended are the ones that are getting the loudest voice, right? And friends, understand, I get offended. Like I get offended. But me being offended is my opportunity to find out what meaning am I make that happen? What inside of me, like somebody could call me blue, right? Like, oh, that's an interesting take. Like, I don't know where you get that, but that's interesting. Like, what's there for you, right? I'm not going to be offended by that because it's not inside of me, right? But if somebody said, and I've had this happen lots and lots of times, people get on there and it's like, hey, Howie Mandel. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But there was a time when somebody used to give me a hard time about being bald. I would be offended, right? But over time, I have learned how to not take that on. See, it's not about not caring what people think. I deeply care what people think because what they think is a reflection of them, right? So, of course, I'm going to care what they think, but there's a difference of not taking on what they think. And see, we're not taught this stuff, and we're not taught this for a very, very important reason, right? So we can keep you afraid if they can make you angry, and they can make you afraid. They can control how you behave, right? And that's what the news's job is to do, right? It's what the media's job is to do. Think about the word media. It is the goddess of illusion. It is a goddess of illusion. You start looking at network programming, the channels, television, right? Like it's all there, right? We just have to step back a little bit and look at it and go, oh my gosh, like this is pretty profound. And now that I've got a master's in hypnosis and linguistics and things like that, I'm seeing things that's just like, oh my God, they call it sleight of mouth. Like a magician uses what they call sleight of hand, right? Like I get you to focus over here and I'm going to do the trick over here because you won't see me do the trick because I got you to focus here. It's the same thing with sleight of mouth. I'm going to get you to believe that this is what's going on when this is what's really going on, right? Like just think about why is nobody talking about what's happening with Maxine? Everybody was focusing on Johnny Depp, right? Like they control what you focus on, right? So this is probably not what you expected, but this is why breaking news is really, really like crack cocaine for some people because they're not able to distinguish what you expose yourself, you become. What you expose yourself to, you become, right? I do not watch the news. I do not watch the news. I watch TV, the little bit of TV I do watch. I watch The Curse of Oak Island, and I watch Ancient Aliens once in a while. But when I do watch it, it's recorded. So I fast forward through the commercials. Be very, very discerning to what you allow your mind to be exposed to. Because if you don't, and if you don't understand effective seduction is not recognized, go watch the movie Focus. Go watch the movie The Experimenter. Okay? Go watch the San Francisco prison experiment, right? Like there's all kinds of data out there that supports what it is that I'm telling you, right? Like inside of my class, the ROI Accelerator Challenge, I've been sharing people with how they literally can predict what somebody is going to say by what they expose them to. They are convincing us to hate each other. They are convincing us to hate each other. They are convincing us to believe some of the things that are going on are in our best interest. And people will not do the research to find out, where does electricity really come from? Why do they call it fossil fuel? Right? Like just go down the rabbit hole a little bit, my friends. Just, I mean, you don't have to go too deep and it just starts going, oh my gosh, like this makes all the sense in the world. Okay. I would encourage you to go look at the things that you don't want to look at because awareness is power. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is destructive. And if you choose not to look at beyond what the perception is that they want you to see, it's called willful ignorance, right? So when you're going bat crap sideways on somebody else, because if I say I didn't like President Obama, it has nothing to do with racism. Nothing to do with racism. Kanye West got canceled because they called him an anti-Semitic because he was calling out the record industry. which is dominated by a particular race, right? It had nothing to do with the race. It had to do with how he was being raised, but they packaged it in a way so that they could justify canceling him. And now there's people out there that are saying, well, they shouldn't be canceling TikTok, but I just did a video not that long ago, and this is one of the videos that got banned. This video got banned about Balenciaga, right? And I'm saying, okay, cool. You're allowing Balenciaga to do what Balenciaga's doing, which is horrific, which I would encourage you to go look up on duckduckgo.com rather than Google, right? And seeing what actually happened there. And all the actresses and entertainers and all that stuff that support Balenciaga, but Kanye West, Andrew Tate, and I don't align with all these guys. Just because I'm saying their names doesn't mean that I support everything. Like, there's some stuff that they do that I think is amazing, and there's some stuff that they do that I don't align with, right? But they are the ones that are determining canceling them. The president of the United States got canceled on Twitter. Like, just think about that, whether you like him or not, right? Put it in context. Put it in context. You are going, yay, the president got banned from Twitter. But you're not going, why are they still allowing child pornographers, pedophiles? Why are they still allowing that out there? Right? Women screaming about it's my body, it's my right. Absolutely. But were they the first ones that are jumping up and saying, I'm not going to take what you're telling me to take? And look at all the statistics around, like, really go look at the statistics about what's happening to people that have taken what they told them to take. Like, how many people have literally died from it? Go look at why you cannot sue a vaccination company. They made it a lot. You cannot sue distributors of vaccines. You cannot sue them. Isn't that interesting? Right, friends? I just say all this. Don't believe me. Like, do not believe me. I don't want you to believe a single word I'm saying. Go do your research and do a balanced research. Don't go look on just Google. Right? Because Google's a part of the issue, right? You all, and it's funny because they say that Democrats are more about, they're against capitalism. I think that's so funny, right? Go look at tech companies. What are all big tech companies? Massive, massive tech companies. The richest companies in the world. Go see what political party they support. You want to tell me that they're against capitalism? Again, just because somebody says it is doesn't make it so. Right. And this isn't about politics, right? It's about you understanding how people get you to believe what they want you to believe. Okay. And then once you start believing that, now you've got entangled into something, and it's your ability to be neutral and pull yourself out of that. This is why I'm doing the ROI Accelerator Challenge, my friend, is because once you have, I want to ask you a question before I end this. What is choice? What is choice? Right? Because if you believe you only have two choices, then you don't understand choice. But if they can control what they say is available, then you being able to ask questions beyond that. Here's one that just absolutely blew me away. This one blew me away, like how obvious it is. I'm not going to say that, but I will. Yeah, I'll say it. Go look at the inauguration and then go watch Hunger Games. Just a thought. I just find it super interesting. Right? And you having agency, which is your power, right? You get to decide. Like, everybody's caught up in, a lot of people, and I get it, like, this has been my journey. A lot of people will not question things because of security, fear of losing their security. Well, I hope everybody really got a great dose of that in 2020 when they recognized that security is an illusion. Like, the whole world got shut down. The whole world got shut down like that. The whole world got shut down. So there's your idea for security, right? So I would encourage you to start stepping into educating yourself, expanding your awareness, because your awareness is your power, right? ROI Accelerator Challenge, I go into this massively, really, really, really deep, showing you how to rewrite your past, like literally rewrite your past and let go of all the things that keep you from stepping into your greatness, how to optimize every domain of your life so that you are clear, focused, and know where to put your energy so that you're not being led by things. Like, think about how much energy confusion takes up. You chase two rabbits, you're not going to catch either one of them. But think about how much energy you burn up. But once you have clarity, now you know where to put your focus. And then the I is for the influence aspect of you being able to influence yourself to be able to step into the state that you need to be able to create what it is that you want to create, and then be able to influence others rather than selling people, right? You influence them so that they believe that they need to purchase your product. It's a great transaction, right? It's not feeling like you got to force and sticky and blah, all that stuff. I don't like selling people. I don't. I like empowering people. I like giving them the opportunity to invest into themselves because they want to take their life to a next level. Okay. So I appreciate everybody being here so much. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I hope you're having a magical holiday season, and probably do a couple more shows before Christmas gets here. But I hope you're having an amazing holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great weekend. And as always, live like your life depends on it, my friend, because it does. And I appreciate you. Much love, everybody. Take care.